whatever you want. So tell me what you want to role play.
I think I would like that first conversation, that initial connection.
Okay.
And how would you get into discovering my needs, and more like a needs analysis?
Right. So tell me of a circumstance. Like, do we know each other, or did we meet each other from an agent? Am I cold calling you?
You
tell
called
me how we know
called
each
me
other.
a couple of times to invite me for a meeting. I played the busy agent that doesn't have time for anything. You invited me to a couple of events. I came to one, and I appreciate you. However, we never met. And this time I'm gonna say yes to the invitation because I came to the event and I liked it and I opened up to you.
Okay, great. So is this over the phone, a Zoom, coffee shop? What is it?
Let's do Zoom.
Okay, it's a Zoom. Okay, and we're recording, so I'm going to go right at it.
Yes, perfect.
Now, do I say your name Ileana?
Ileana.
Elena.
Yeah.
Okay, Ileana. Ileana, thank you so much for your time. And I'm so grateful that you came to our class the other day. Thank you for coming. And I'm curious, what did you learn, or what did you like about the class?
I was actually very surprised pleasantly because I had some misconceptions about you trying to recruit me, and when I came to your class, I learned new things. I met wonderful people, and I just felt like you are really not like I expected.
Good. Well, I hope I can help you.
Yeah, you did a great job. You definitely convinced me to go further into this discussion.
One of the things that's different about my job from your manager or broker is I actually spend my time teaching my agents how to run their business smarter, how to make more money, how to hire the right people, how to have more time, So for you, if I was to help you in any way for your business or your life, what's something now that is stopping you or that you'd like to work on in your business?
I feel like I've reached a plateau of number of listings and GCI. And I also feel like the market is changing. And compared to what I saw at your training, I get nothing of that in my company. And I'm just figuring out that if I would be a more trained agent or continuously trained agent, I would have a competitive advantage.
Well, and everybody's a little different. So one of the things I like to do is take a little time to get to know you and identify one or two strategies that you may not know about that you might be very good at. So if I was to look at your business now, what are you already good at? Where does your business come from?
Can we break script a second?
Yep.
So you first told me I can help you, and before I can help you, I would like to take a few minutes to get to know you. Mm-hmm. And you do that to get into the needs analysis conversation?
To get into trust, just to trust, because people will tell you very different things here. Some people will tell you really only about business. Some will tell you about their kids and their mom and their dog, and you go wherever they go, right? If they're
so basically,
yes,
basically you're trying to make some report here, and
I'm trying to see what you're all about.
Okay, great.
And my goal with this first conversation is to blow your mind with ideas, to get you excited so that you'll really open up with me later today or next conversation. Because most people that are experienced will say no to you for several invites, and then they finally show up to one, but you can't just pounce on them and try to pitch them KW. You'll lose the whole opportunity. You have to trust a little bit more for them really to tell you about their business, typically.
Okay,
Most people don't just open right up. Now we only have 30 minutes, so we're going to play around a little with this.
Yeah, let's say
give me some hassle though when we're role playing. Okay, push me back a little. Okay.
Let's say I told you about my challenges. You gave me some ideas about the KW models.
Well, not
but
yet.
I push. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to pushing.
Yeah. Don't even worry about that. So if we back up in the conversation,
yeah,
I'm going to ask you what you're already great at. Now, people love to talk about this. They'll lean in, they'll be positive. And what I'm doing is I'm getting you to open up. So, Ileana, you're already great. You already have a very strong business. I've seen you. I've been watching you. You should be proud of your business. And yet it sounds like you want more, or you're worried about the market. You may need more. So tell me, I'd be happy to share some new strategies, new energy. However, let's talk about what you're already great at. If we looked at your business this year, where does it come from?
I think I'm great at developing relationships with people.
Yeah.
And keeping the relationship long term. Hi, Andra. we have spectators.
Good. Let's keep going.
Okay. And,
so you're very relational. You love your people. Yes. So do you get a lot of your business by referral?
Most of my business comes from referrals.
Okay. And it looks like you closed how many closings last year?
48.
Wow. And this next year, how many do you want to accomplish?
I was shooting for 60, but I feel like with the changing market, I'm not going to get to it.
So if you stay if you just stay with what you've always been doing, will you hit 60 this year?
Not after this first trimester, what it showed me.
And
I feel like if I'm gonna do 48, I'm gonna be to keep my business from last year. I think it's gonna be a good year.
And if you look at the market, last quarter of last year is what all of this year is likely going to look like. So with knowing that you hit 48, what do you think you'll drop to if you just keep doing the same thing?
I'm hoping not to drop, but yeah, I guess I would if I don't do anything different.
So let's make a commitment to find you something to fill in the gap so you don't worry.
Yeah,
right.
I would do that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're really good with people already and getting referrals. And you told me 48 deals. So let's just call it 50 for simple math.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you something, because if you were my agent and I was coaching you, one of the very first things I would do is help you figure out your sweet spot. So you're successful and you're happy and you're having fun doing this. It's not painful. And it sounds like you're really into people. So if I was to look at your cell phone and I was to look at your Facebook and Instagram and your email, how many people do you think you know in the community? Is it like 500? Is it like 1,000? How many people do you know, like acquaintance or better? Not like best friends, but that you know who they are. They know who kind of you are. How many people would you say that is?
Around 2,000.
2,000. Okay, great. So here's something right now that I can help you with before we dive any further. Okay. I want to stop here because if you were a brand new agent or someone I just hired, this is the first thing we would do. Instead of teaching you another way to go get leads and you have to set it up and learn and blah, 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 like cold calling or knocking on doors, I would rather help you dial this in, because with 2,000 people, conservatively, you have 120 closings every year in that group of people.
Wow, how did you do that math?
So let me show you something. I'm going to share with you a few articles that I'm going to really recommend that you take the time to read so that you understand this concept, because this is something we teach brand new agents right out of real estate school. It's the second class we teach in Ignite about their database. So here's a really great article that goes through the science and the study of your database. And basically, here's the formula. Depending on how much money you want to make, you can calculate specifically how many people you need in your database on what's called a 36 touch. Now, some argue it's even more than that, but a 36 touch at a bare minimum, you'll get what's called like a 6.37% return, to be exact. So 2,000 people at 6%, that's a lot of transactions, a lot more than you're getting. Okay. So let's be even, so this is also taught in this book. So this is kind of common knowledge. And so I'm kind of surprised you didn't know this. So I want to put this in front of you. I want to educate you about this because this is the easy button for you. You know, now, let's just say you did 50 deals last year. You missed at least half.
Break script. Which article is this on out front?
Okay, I put it in the chat so you can open it and read it later.
I'll take it from there. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, if we had more time, I would spend a little more time on that. I'd also be showing you page 137 of the shift that starts this kind of conversation around the database and the lead generation model. And it goes through and shows this model and explains how you get the return and why you do. And it has stories around it from mega agents that have done this. So that's your evidential proof. That's your proof. Like, wow. And I if you notice, I mentioned like we teach brand new agents this right out of real estate school. Yeah. You know, and if you think about it, this is Ignite number 2, you guys, the database. So if you go back
when you said that, I actually felt in the recruit's shoes, I actually felt like, wow, if the new agents know this and I didn't know it as an experienced agent, how great it would be for my company.
Right. Exactly. So all I'm doing is I'm kind of showing you what we've got so you can kind of see a little without being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you special access. Now, back into script. You know, I'm passionate about helping you with this because this is the difference of your business coming to you easily, predictably, and you stressing. Right now, you stress about where your business will be, where you're going to get it if you have enough. You can choose to tackle your database first and get a lot more business, maybe double your business without really doing much more than what you already like. Now, let's just evaluate that. Let's be totally skeptical. Let's just say I only helped you get 10 more closings this year, and next year was 25 more or 50 more. How would that make you feel?
I think it would be a great help because if you help me get the additional business, that would mean I can reach my goal no matter what the market is doing.
Right. So this is a fundamental in this business. It doesn't matter which brokerage you're at. This is a law or a truth. And to make sure our agents have every unfair advantage against companies that don't train as well, we even show step by step for our agents what they're going to need to do. Not everyone will do the same things because not everyone will cold call. Not everyone, you know, does the same things, but depending on what you're going to do, we show you step by step how to do it. So for example, you're very social. So you're going to probably use social media, right? So on step 20, we show how to do specifically special things on social media to get you business. And we show you step by step in our computer program how to do that. So can you imagine how lucky our new agents are right out of real estate school? We start them right into this and their business comes to them predictably. Now, of course, they need a program to run all that. And our program is Command. Here's a little glimpse of it. And
I was ask you what you use.
Yeah, we have other ways of getting leads other than your database. And that would be the second thing I'd show you. So Command, if you're curious and you want to take a sneak peek without me, you can go to this website. I'll put it in the chat and you can have your own demo without me. You can see from a third-party person what this program does. But in addition to helping you get that 6% return out of your database by automating communication and posting and all this other thing, all the different things you can do, you can also get leads. The leads on average cost $2.47 and are comparable to a lead that you might buy from OpCity, Realtor.com, Zillow, pay-per-click advertising, Google, whatever company you can think of, where you might spend about $50, ours are comparable at $2.47. So if you need more business, I have two solutions for you right now, like immediately. Number one is getting more serious with your database to double your business. And then second to that is to figure out what your second lead source might be. Now you already have other things you're good at. So besides getting referrals now, what's the second best route for you? I'm just curious what that would be.
Now that you are talking about using my strength to connect with people, maybe some events like clients events and other ideas. I didn't do any of it, but I could do if I think about it.
Let me show you my little secret Google Drive I have of all the best ideas. And one of them is called seminars or events. And there's three different events that are different that I would love to put in front of you just to get you thinking. And then when you do an event, I have a
playbook for anything I'm saying.
Right? Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome.
You know what it is? It's about helping.
You just scroll to it and then you move on.
Yep. I'm just putting it in front of you so you see enough and you're like,
nice.
So let me ask you this. I know we've just met. Yeah. And we've only been on, been speaking for a few minutes, but do you feel like I might be able to help you?
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Right. And you're very loyal. I'm sure you're very happy where you're at. So would you be okay if we kept this conversation going on the side, stay at your brokerage, and yet let me show you what I could do if you ever need to make a change? Because if your broker sold the brokerage or changed the fees, you might be looking for a change, right?
Well, now that I'm talking to you, I'm thinking that this is one of the reasons I opened up, because I feel like I'm stuck there, and now looking around and see how many resources are there for me. Not about misloyalty. I just feel like I should explore other options.
Well, and here's the thing. I've had great mentors in my business. My first mentor was LaVon Jensen. She was with Coldwell Banker. And she recently passed away, and she is someone I love and trust. And you know what? I just outgrew her. I was more techie than she was. I was more progressive. I was younger than she was. So, when she got a little older in her years, I just was kind of past her because I was doing Facebook and she wasn't, And so it doesn't mean I don't love her or that we didn't have a great relationship, but I kind of outgrew her. And if she knew what to tell me, she would have. But sometimes you just outgrow your environment, or you need to be in an environment where other people are doing this and it's common to them so that you can learn or change, because you're going to need to change your habits a little, aren't you? Not do the exact same thing you do every day. So, I can put an offer together for you and show you more of this tomorrow if you're open to it. And if you would be willing to, I could even put an offer for you to make a move right away. If you're not ready to, I'd at least like to keep the conversation going so that you can see what we have to offer if you're ever in a position where you're not happy. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you for that.
Right. Now, do you know anyone else that I should be speaking with?
Well, yeah, I have a colleague of mine that has the same frustrations that I do, and I think she should have this conversation with you as well, because
what's really cool about Keller Williams is Gary Keller will pay you a referral fee on every closing that your friend has if they follow you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And here's the best part, you're helping them.
Yes, I feel like it. She should know you.
Yeah. So when we get together tomorrow, do you want to bring her to coffee?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Well, that way you have someone else's opinion as well. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else you want to bring with?
Oh my God, Jessica, you are a fire machine.
Anyone important in making this decision with you that should come with to maybe
I'm not thinking of anyone else right now, but I will sure keep in mind an open mind to invite other people.
Okay, so before tomorrow morning for coffee, I'm going to send you a few things to check out, because I only shared a few things with you today. And yet tomorrow I'm going to come with a proposal and an independent contractor agreement so that if you're ready to make a commitment for today, tomorrow, a week from now, we can move. And if you're not ready, I would just ask that you share with me what I need to help you with. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool. Can't wait.
Okay.
That was a very fast recruiting appointment.
Yeah, of course. But I already got a page of notes. So good. And my question is something that I don't do. Is this proposal or offer? What do you actually put on the table when you?
Well, what we didn't go through that I want to just back up to, because we have 10 minutes, is I typically also will run the numbers. So you would need to change this for Romania numbers. This is with US, Florida. But I usually see what an agent's doing and I run their numbers through to compare Century 21 or Remax or ABC Realty versus KW to show them the difference. But what I do, instead of showing them where they're at, I'll go back to how many transactions you're leaving behind. And I'll say, let's be skeptical. Let's say you typically close 50, but your database says 250. Let's call it 100. Okay, if you doubled your income from 8 to 16 with 100, look at the difference now I can make for you. And I show them like that and they're like, wow. Now, also when I'm talking over this, I say, tell me what your deal is, because I know you're special at the brokerage. So they might give you a different deal than some of the other agents that I'm talking to. And I'll put in like, okay, there is a 5% franchise fee, not a 6%. I'm like, okay. Or they say, I only pay up to $10,000. I'll say, okay, I'll make it 10,000. So I know their deal because they're telling it to me. And then I send this home to them. So when they're at home talking to their husband, their friend, their partner, whoever, they don't mess it up. They can show them the economics behind it. Does that make sense? I think you guys are breaking up a little, so I hope you caught that. Can you guys hear me?
Froze. Do you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. So I don't know how much we got of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we got
after.
If there's time,
we'll see it on the recording. What we've missed.
Well,
we'll see it on the
right. We can always go back to any part of this. But if I have time, I'm gonna say, you know what this would look like to your bottom line, and then I can pivot in there. You did 8 million last year. Let's say we can get you to 16 million. Look at the difference that would be at our office versus yours. And, let's dive in, and I'm going to give you this Excel spreadsheet so you can play around with it at home. And they can calculate the difference of, say they're at Century 21 versus Keller Williams. Now, I have like team on here, so I would delete all this. I would delete all of this so I wouldn't confuse anybody. And I would just do agent to agent comparison. This is me getting into like what they spend money on. So if you don't want to complicate this, you could even just delete all this and just look at this and keep it really simple. But I'm assuming that you guys have something like that where you can break down the economic model. If you don't, we should make you one.
We have something like that, but not as detailed and nicely put like you.
Well, and when I'm recruiting new agents, and usually it's more than one in one room, it's usually 3 or 4 at a time because I do group appointments. I teach this first. So I say, before we get into how we pay you or how much money you can make here versus other brokerages you're talking to, let me explain you how the commission works and your income works. And I break it down and I explain that they make gross commission income and they still have to pay taxes. They still have gasoline in their car and yada, yada, yada. And I tell them they're going to have 30% expense, 30% cost of sale, which will give them their profit, what they can actually spend, not, because they still have bills and they're an independent contractor business owner. So I remind them of that and they say, oh, okay. So if I want to make $100,000 spendable income in the US, I actually need to bring in $250,000 of commission because I've got taxes, gasoline, board of realtors, signs, food, all the stuff that you pay. And they realize, okay, I need to sell 8 million in volume then for that to be true, to make about 100,000 in profit in the US. So we explain that first, so they connect the dots, because nobody gets into real estate to make $20,000. They all want to make 6 figures. So we say that in the room. We say, we're assuming everybody in this room wants to make 6 figures. Otherwise you wouldn't be here tonight or here today. So we just kind of say that because we're not having one-on-one conversations necessarily with these new people, and they all understand like how the money flows. And then we say, so now we want to explain why you're going to join KW over some of the other brokerages you might be interviewing. Our commission is got a limit or a cap to it. So if you do 8 million in volume at Coldwell Banker, you're going to pay them 60,000, or Century 21. You're going to pay them 60,000-ish dollars. With us, you're going to pay 23. So you're going to save $37,000 by joining us.
Nice.
Now we show it that way. We don't show it at $1 million. Like if you barely make it in real estate and sell like 3 houses, it doesn't look so good. It looks like we cost more, because we do, because they don't benefit from the cap. So that's the logic by starting this number here at 8 million, because we're showing them how to make 100,000 in real estate year 1. And then they get the cap. They're like, ah, and I always say, why would you start at a different brokerage that inevitably you're going to leave? Because why would you pay more than double of what we have for what they have after what I've shown you today? Doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah. And they're like, I get it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
So it does make sense. Okay. Jessica, my understanding was that you also do coaching.
Yes, that's what I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all day long, as I'm doing this with team leaders from all over the world.
Okay, and what would it mean as a coaching client for?
So Worldwide gets a special deal, and Gary helps pay for it, Gary Keller. So you would need to reach out to your RD and see if we could work something out. I give you a discount as well, because exchange rates make it very expensive sometimes. Okay. So if you do have interest, and we could even do something with a group of people just to get you guys more confident. Let's figure something out. Even if I just do twice a month, I don't care. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, so, we did a couple of episodes with Loredana, because she's also
she helped. Yes,
market centers. So I think it was a great time to go through the whole process with her. And even this short conversation to me was filled with ahas. So I'll check with the team and see how we can do it.
Well, and I know times are tough with the economy, so I don't want to have expense stop you guys. So whatever we need to do, let's come up with something that'll work. And I also want to give you guys a special playlist that's only for my clients. And I'll give it to you, because it has 79 role plays on it.
Oh my God.
And these are all different role plays of different things. Like, what do you say to someone at a coffee shop? Like, what do you do if someone, keeps rejecting you? It's different strategies. Some of them will make sense for Romania. Some of them won't. But, it's always good to see what other people do. And that's where you get your confidence, because you realize all I'm doing is having a conversation with you. Now, I've had the same conversation a lot.
You gave us so much value.
Well, let's keep playing around with this. And if you're comfortable with it, let's share this with other worldwide people. So feel free to share this with your whole gang. And let's keep this conversation going. Let's do some more recruiting role play with Romania. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
See you guys. Have a great day, Alexandra.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye, guys.